Skol Nation, brace yourselves. What I'm about to tell you will send shockwaves through every purple-blooded heart, from Minneapolis to Mankato. And trust me when I say this, you're not ready for what's coming. Right now, as we speak, there's a massive storm brewing around US Bank Stadium that could completely reshape the future of our beloved Minnesota Vikings. And it all centers around three earth-shattering developments that have the entire NFL world talking, whispering, and speculating about what's really happening in the land of 10,000 lakes. First, we've got analysts attacking our franchise quarterback with takes so cold they'd freeze the Mississippi River in July. Then, there's a four-time MVP sitting in free agency limbo, and some people think he's just waiting for something catastrophic to happen to our purple and gold dreams. And finally, we're sitting on a war chest of cash that could change everything. But the question is, will we pull the trigger when it matters most? Vikings faithful, I'm telling you right now, what you're about to discover will make you question everything you thought you knew about this upcoming season. The pieces are moving, the chessboard is set, and our beloved franchise is at the center of the most intense quarterback drama the NFL has seen in years. But here's what's got me fired up, Skol Nation. Through all this chaos, all this speculation, all these so-called expert opinions, there's one thing that remains crystal clear. This organization is about to make moves that will either catapult us to Super Bowl glory or leave us wondering what if for another decade. Hit that like button if you're ready to ride this roller coaster with me. Drop a comment below with your predictions and make sure you're subscribed because what's coming next will blow your mind. The first bombshell involves a so-called analyst who just threw the most disrespectful take at our young quarterback that I've ever heard. And Vikings fans, you're going to be livid when you hear what this clown actually said about the future of our franchise. Let's dive into this madness right now. Skol Nation, meet the man who just became public enemy #1 in Minnesota, Ross Tucker. This ex-NFL lineman turned talking head just went on the Purple Daily podcast and dropped the most ridiculous brain-dead take about our franchise quarterback that has me seeing red and purple at the same time. Tucker had the audacity, and I mean the absolute nerve, to suggest that our attempts to bring back veteran quarterbacks this offseason somehow signals doubt in J.J. McCarthy's ability to lead this team. Can you believe this garbage, Vikings fans? This fool actually said, and I quote, "No matter what the Vikings say about J.J. McCarthy and how much they love him and he's the guy, they wanted Darnold back." So as much as they're sold on J.J. McCarthy, they weren't like that sold, right? Are you kidding me, Tucker? Let me break this down for every purple bleeding heart listening right now. This take is so wrong, so completely divorced from reality, that it deserves an F- for false information. McCarthy was coming off a torn meniscus injury, so of course the front office explored backup options. That's not doubt, that's called smart management. Sam Darnold got over $100 million from Seattle, and Daniel Jones got $14 million from Indianapolis. Both deals that were way outside our price range for backup quarterbacks. If we were really worried about McCarthy, we would have thrown money at Aaron Rodgers, Joe Flacco, or any number of big-name veterans available. Instead, what did we do? We waited until draft weekend and traded for Sam Howell on his dirt-cheap contract. That's not the move of a team with doubt. That's the move of a franchise that's all in on their young quarterback. Tucker also had the balls to predict that we'll be battling Chicago for third or fourth in the NFC North. Third or fourth? This man clearly hasn't been watching the same team that just went from worst to first and is loaded with talent from top to bottom. McCarthy has been working out with Justin Jefferson, building chemistry, handling media responsibilities like a true franchise quarterback, and showing everyone that he's 100% healthy and ready to take this team to the promised land. But hold on to your horns, Skol Nation, because Tucker's disrespectful take is just the tip of the iceberg. There's another story brewing that involves a certain four-time MVP who might be playing the most dangerous waiting game in NFL history, and it could impact our season in ways you never imagined. Vikings faithful, what I'm about to tell you might make your blood run cold, but it could also be the best thing that's happened to our franchise in years. Aaron Rodgers, yes, that Aaron Rodgers, is still sitting in free agency limbo, and according to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, there might be a dark reason why he's taking his sweet time. When asked by our own Paul Allen if Rodgers might be waiting, in case J.J. McCarthy gets injured during the summer, Fowler dropped this bombshell. I can't say he's rooting for McCarthy to get hurt. It's just sort of a back-of-mind feeling that maybe he's sort of waiting that out. Now listen up, Skol Nation. This is where it gets really interesting. Fowler still thinks Rodgers ends up in Pittsburgh, but he said something that should have every Vikings fan both terrified and excited. He's a smart guy. He sees a team with a good offense, a really good offensive coach, and 9 dome games guaranteed. That's pretty attractive to him, I would assume. 9 dome games, a Kevin O'Connell offense, Justin Jefferson. If you're Aaron Rodgers looking at potential landing spots, Minnesota has to look pretty damn appealing right about now. But here's the thing that's got my mind racing. Former Titans GM John Robinson thinks Rodgers will be in Pittsburgh by late July, ready for training camp. Robinson said, "I still think he's a really good player. I still think he loves the game, and I think that football is what he has, and I think that he wants to do it on his timetable." His timetable. Vikings fans. That's the key phrase right there. Now, I'm not saying I want anything bad to happen to McCarthy. Hell no. The kid is our future, and he's been putting in work this offseason. But the fact that a 4-time MVP is sitting out there, potentially keeping his options open, means that if the unthinkable happened, we'd have a nuclear option that could still make us Super Bowl contenders. The crazy part? This might actually be the perfect scenario for us. McCarthy stays healthy, develops into the franchise quarterback we all believe he can be, and Rodgers goes to Pittsburgh, where he can't hurt us in the NFC North. But speaking of perfect scenarios, what I'm about to tell you next involves the one thing that could make all of this speculation irrelevant: money, and lots of it. We're sitting on a treasure chest that could change everything. And there's one name that's been connected to Minnesota for months that could be the missing piece to our championship puzzle. Skol Nation. Here's where this story gets absolutely explosive. While everyone's been arguing about quarterbacks and veteran free agents, our front office has been quietly sitting on approximately $14 million in salary cap space, with the ability to restructure contracts and create even more room if needed. But here's the kicker. There's one name that's been connected to the Vikings for 2 solid months in the rumor mill. And if this signing happens, it could be the defensive piece that puts us over the top. We're talking about Asante Samuel Jr., the cornerback who could have the highest potential of any available free agent right now. Samuel Jr. has been dealing with health concerns, and apparently both he and NFL general managers are waiting for a complete medical verdict that's expected to come down in July. But here's what's got me pumped up. If he gets a clean bill of health, the rumors suggest he could be headed to Minnesota. Think about this. Vikings fans, we already have one of the most explosive offenses in the NFL with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and now a healthy J.J. McCarthy ready to sling the rock. Our defense showed flashes of brilliance last season, but adding a proven cornerback like Samuel Jr. could be the difference between a good defense and a championship defense. The timing is perfect. We've got the money, we've got the need, and we've got a window of opportunity that's wide open. While other teams are scrambling to find salary cap space, we're sitting pretty with resources to make a splash signing that could change our entire defensive identity. And here's the beautiful part. Samuel Jr. isn't just any cornerback. This is a player who has the talent to lock down opposing receivers and give our pass rush that extra split second they need to get home. Imagine Byron Murphy Jr. and Asante Samuel Jr. as our starting corners, with Harrison Smith providing veteran leadership from the safety position. Hit that subscribe button if you want more breaking Vikings coverage. Smash that like button if you're as excited as I am about this potential signing. And comment below with your thoughts on whether Samuel Jr. would put us over the top. Skol Nation, as we stand on the precipice of training camp, looking ahead to what could be the most important season in recent Vikings history, I want you to remember this moment. Remember how it felt when Ross Tucker disrespected our quarterback, when Aaron Rodgers was playing waiting games, and when we had the resources to make a championship-level move. The pieces are all there: a healthy franchise quarterback, a legendary offensive coordinator, weapons for days, and now potentially the cap space and opportunity to add a game-changing defensive player. This isn't just another season, Vikings faithful. This is our time, our moment, our chance to shock the world and bring that Lombardi trophy home to Minneapolis. The question isn't whether we can do it. The question is whether we will do it. Are you ready to believe, Skull Nation?